Now let's talk about understanding your business model. This is important because if you want to understand how to improve this stage of the funnel, you need to deeply understand how your business makes money. So 5 business model questions to ask are: what exactly generates revenue? Is it subscription? Is it transactional? Who pays me? Who's the actual buyer? When do I get paid? What's my length of sales cycle? What price can I charge? And finally, what's the cost of what I'm selling? What are my COGS, or cost of goods sold? Depending on the answers to these questions, the revenue metrics you optimize for will be very different. Now let's go through some common types of business models. First, we have freemium. So these are usually subscription businesses targeting end users, medium sales cycle, and if you're talking about software, usually not many more costs than just servers. So Spotify is a great example of this, as is Evernote. For software as a service, it's also a subscription. Buyers are usually company decision makers if you're talking about B2B software, and for that reason, the sales cycle is going to be a bit longer as well. And for cost of goods sold, mostly things like customer support. So HubSpot is a great example of this, marketing software, and Salesforce. We also have e-commerce. This is a transactional model targeting users. The length of sales cycle is actually very short, and COGS in this case would be looking at the cost of the physical items. So Harry's is a great example of this, as is Warby Parker, the sunglasses company. Next, we have two-sided marketplace. This has a lot of similarities to e-commerce, except for COGS, we're thinking more about seller payouts. So Airbnb has to pay their hosts, and at Udemy, we have to pay our instructors. Next, we have user-generated content. This is an ad-supported model, so the buyers are actually marketers in this case, and the users, weirdly enough, are the product that's being sold to the marketers. So some examples of this are Pinterest, Reddit, and Facebook would be another example. Finally, we have media, which is also an ad-supported model, but interestingly enough, we're seeing places like the New York Times adopt a subscription model as well. So it kind of shows you that you can mix and match some of these models and utilize multiple models simultaneously. So as you're thinking through the 5 variables that make up your business model, just remember that everything is connected. Any changes you do to the revenue part of your funnel will affect the rest of your funnel. Your business model affects who's in your addressable market. Naturally, if you raise or lower your price, you're going to affect who is willing to pay for your product. And then that will affect whether there are enough buyers in the market for a viable business. Changes to your business model also affect how you can acquire customers. You have to think about the channel dynamics. Does how I get revenue fit with my channels? For instance, transactional models fit quite well with ad channels. Does the cost value equation still make sense now that I've made some changes? Is this sustainable from a cash flow perspective? You really can't think about these things in isolation. You have to always think about what will be the implications at other parts of the funnel if I make changes to my business model. Okay, let's recap. If you want to make more money, understand your business model deeply, and remember that business models have 5 key components. Depending on your business model, you'll need to optimize for different things, which we'll get more into in the next lecture. And remember, everything is connected. Changes to your business model will affect the rest of your funnel. They'll affect whom you can acquire and how you do so.